So we went up to the Great White North of northern Michigan. We crossed the Mackinac Bridge and we did all the fun stuff in the Upper Peninsula and came back through. So we did all that kind of stuff. Great
Like
time.
in a week, or
It was just a quick weekend,
Okay.
zipping up and around and kind of just tooling around the area. So like a 4-day extended weekend. But here's what happened. So we went to this restaurant on Mackinac Island. Mighty fine establishment, had some good food. I had a tendency to, because of so much sun, I was super dehydrated. And I was like, I got to get some water. So I drank and drank and drank and drank and drank so much water. It was unbelievable. It was like I was part camel or something.
you're drowning in your own liquor.
I know.
Liquid.
I know. It was like a Stephen King novel. It was like that, thinner, but with water. No matter how much I drank, I would needed more.
Right.
Obviously, what happens when you drink that much water? It doesn't stay in your system for very long. And so I went to so I went into the restroom and I'm like going, I got to use the restroom. I open up the door. This is where you can decide whether you want me to continue the story or not. But
usually when someone describes that opening the door, I'm good. I don't need to know, but now I do need to know. You must tell it.
There was a gentleman inside the stall. Now, this is one of those things that's got like a single urinal and the single stall and the sink. That's all the restaurant
Somebody
had.
in there already?
Somebody was already in there. And, it was one of those where it's like there's no door lock or anything. So the more the merrier, apparently.
Right.
So anybody can come in. I go in there and there is some dude who is just grunting. Just like it was like he's just barreling down on the stall. And you just hear
Who does number 2 work for? Who does number 2 work for?
I can sum up this whole experience by one action he had done. And I'd never seen this happen before, never heard this action before. But this guy was exploding in that, like it was like spontaneous combustion, but out of the nether regions. And this dude was just blasting it, painting the porcelain. And it had gotten so bad that he was grunting and he stomped his foot. Just slammed his foot down, like, and then pounding his foot on the floor, like trying to make his systems work.
Yeah,
I had never encountered that in my entire life. Needless to say, I just washed my hands and walked right out the door. It's like, we'll find someplace else to go.
Sounds like a One Punch Man villain,
Yeah, they call him BM.
Right. Oh. Man, I wow.
Yeah, and it's like I kept thinking, like, should I call for help for this guy? What's the etiquette when you
call 911? Call 911.
Kidding. Rescue. I think that ranks up there with that time though when I went in to a restroom and there was someone just heaving the guts out, and it was a guy also goes, "Oh no, not again." And that was like, it's like, turn it around.
Yep.
I'm out.
Right, I'm out.
You're listening to, and this is why I love comics. Andy and Mike. Andy and Mike.
You ever heard of Superman?
And welcome to another episode of And This Is Why I Love Comics. It's been a while, but I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And we are recording right now. We're going to chat and then talk about Scott Pilgrim, the first trade. And we're going to tell stories and pillow fights and everything like that.
Yep. I think it's fitting, as Scott Pilgrim is just a slice of life kind of a comic. So let's talk about slices of our lives.
Right, absolutely. I won't tell you if I liked it or not, but
We'll
I
get to
didn't.
that.
Yeah. But
Spoiler alert to Andy's
we're
decision.
thanks for joining us. Thank you, everybody who's been downloading it. We've gotten a nice uptick in downloads, and we really appreciate it. Tell a friend, and we've got all kinds of ideas. And when I'm done trying to avoid recording, we're gonna eventually do YouTube. But we're just trying to get a stable environment right now, and it's summer, but school's gonna start, and then I'll be back to routine, and Mike will be back from going to different places and traveling, and he'll be in a routine too.
Unlike the gentleman from Traverse or Mackinac Island, we'll be regular.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, semi-regular maybe, but
we're old men. We have prune juice in our future.
Right. That's I saw an ad for Depends, and my second oldest son looked over at me and said, "You ready for that?" And so, after I buried him, we went on to...
Well, I got a quick story about that. So a coworker had his first child, and he was super excited about it. And the department decided to throw him a diaper party. So everything was diaper themed and stuff like that. And
you have to show up in a diaper.
Yeah, it's the new toga. So we wound up buying boxes of diapers, and I thought, you know what? Why don't I buy him an adult pair of diapers just as a joke? And so I did. And then we, being in the design, we changed up the labels and had special phrasing on it and so forth. In any event, I went to Dollar General because that was the easiest place and the closest. And there, like, everything's about 4 minutes from a Dollar General, no matter where you live. So wound up going there, so I went, grabbed a box just kind of at random of any sort of adult diaper, brought it to the counter. And that's the only thing I had in my possession. I had nothing else that I was like, oh, I got to pick this up while I'm here. So I grabbed that. And the girl at the counter didn't even give me a second glance. Like, you need these? Nothing. Just gave that like, yep, you're at that point.
You're 52.
I have the diaper 52. Yeah. It's like, there's a point in your life when you no longer get carded, and there's a point in your life now when you can buy a box of adult diapers and not a second glance. Like, huh, really? Nope, just figures.
Not here to judge. Good for you, sir.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, that was.
But thanks everybody for all the communication and joining us on the Facebooks and the Twitters, which is, I think it's called X now. I don't know. I'm confused. But
marks the spot.
Yeah, that's right. So welcome to the show. If this is your first time, this is one of the last episodes of season 2. So enjoy it while you can. Season 3, we promise, because we've been doing this 2 years, and the third year it has started. Our anniversary is like on July 30th or 31st.
Dang.
So this, I don't know, I might even make this the first episode. No, we'll do the next one probably as the first episode, season 3, just for the kicks. And I always change up.
Kicks, man.
It's all about the kicks, and I usually change it up a little bit with some new sounds and stuff. I just gotta corner my kids to repeat some things that I say they should repeat. But you know how kids are.
Yeah. Nothing like a little chocolate bribery.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
Speaking of children, we went to fair, Kent County Fair last week, and my 2 oldest show pigs and cows there and have a good old time with 4-H, and they've always have, and I've been very, hey, great. It's what they like to do, so they do it. So we caught up with them there, the rest of the family and I.
Let me ask you this though:
Yeah.
of the food that you did consume at the fair, what was your favorite?
Well, here's what I had at the fair. I went to the fair for 2 days, and I did not have any food the first day. So by the time I went the second time, I was like, I'm going to eat some fair food. This is the best ever. My wife got an elephant ear, and my kids and I all got a snow cone. I see that they went up, 50 cents. So now they're $3 for a snow cone instead of 250. Let me complain about that later. But
It's a rocket.
yeah, right. It's the same stuff. It's ice. It's flavored ice.
Yeah.
You can make it.
So when do you think PETA's going to come after elephant ears?
Right. Well, I don't know. But and then I had a chili dog, which I normally don't have at the fair. Usually I'll go for something that, something a little more exotic, like,
Oh yeah,
hamburgers or pizza. And
the
so,
German hamburger.
right, hamburger or French fries, all that good
Exotic
fair food.
Yeah.
Really, I'm in it for the snow cones, and my kids are too, so we're good with that. I don't know. What do you like for fair?
Oh, I don't eat this stuff at all. I don't know why. None of it looks good or smells good. It just smells like carnival food and just like, yeah. And that was the other thing is like those restrooms. I think it's more about the restrooms. Because if I eat the fair food, I know it's going to be a rental, and I'll have to use whatever facilities is at a fair. And it's like, no, I'm good. But there's a fairgrounds nearby us, and there's a lot of vegetarians. And one of the biggest and the longest lines is a vegetarian corn dog. And
what's the point then?
It's a massive seller, absolute massive seller. But it does so well. They have a brick building. So it's not like a food truck.
Just for that?
It's
wow.
Yes. It does.
It's the corn dog building.
Yeah, so they have regular corn dogs, and they also have what's called Big Frank's. It's a vegetarian hot dog, corn dog, and people go nuts over it. Now, the other thing that I had seen is
Did you have Big Frank at the fair? Did you?
That's what the missus said. No, there was the other big seller was this thing that was like, you know how everything's deep fried. They had deep fried cheese on a stick, and think about like a caramel apple, however you want to pronounce it, about that size, a wad of cheese, harpoon that wad of cheese the size of an apple with a stick, bread it, deep fry it, sell it. It is
I'd try it.
Yeah, it is a solid, like you bite into it and you're just pulling an infinite amount of cheese out of this core. It is, like when you see people walking away with one of those things, it's like, oh my gosh, you are going to be hurting for a while after consuming that thing. But
now, I'm pretty picky about my cheese, so I'm not sure I would be a fan of that, but I'd try it.
Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people, because it is that kind of the novelty. Like, where else are you going to get a wad of cheese the size of your fist, deep fried, and handed to you? And it's like, yeah, I think this is like what you do at a fair.
I guess. Now your wife is more of a country person. Did she do like 4-H and show off any animals or anything like that?
No. She was surrounded by farmland, but she never farmed any of it, and nor did her parents. Her parents were actually, her dad was in the trades, and so they enjoyed the life of the farm, but never had to deal with the farm itself.
So that's the way to do it, is to be out there and then not have to actually do the farming stuff, but still get the perks of that stuff. That's perfect.
It was, and you'll probably be able to relate, except that there were times when early on in our relationship, when we were dating and I would go down to visit, they were downwind of a pig farm.
Okay.
And That is very much for kind of an urban kid, suburban, I should say, suburban kid like myself. It was stunning to be that close to that many pigs in that close confines. It was in one of those like buildings, and it was just oof.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I lived out in the country for about 10 years, and my kids had pigs, so I kind of like that smell. You know what's worse though? Chicken poop. Oh, the neighbor had it. Oh, like the wind's going through your house, and it's just chicken poop. It's just gross.
Yeah. You like crack open the window, gets that fresh night air. And it's just also you catch that little drift through the window. It's like, oh, strangers in the night. Yikes. That's some bad stuff, man.
This is why I like farming.
Yeah. There aren't a whole lot of farm-related comic books. I mean, Superman's from Smallville. They got to make fun of him. But yeah, there's not a whole lot of adventures set in farmland.
Yeah, there's really not, is there? Maybe... No, we'll have to. If you know of any farmland comic books, let us know. Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting some children talking in the background here. I'm wondering why they're up.
I'm telling you, NyQuil, I'll do it.
Yeah, Benadryl,
tranquilizers.
Yeah, for me or them, I don't care.
As long as
as long as one of us is sleeping.
Yeah.
Good night.
I'm glad that the fart sounds get passed to the next generation.
That's right. He is just like his old man, that's for sure.
If there's any question about the lineage,
right,
that pretty much wiped it out. So fair food and growing up on the farm, slices of life, I tell you, slices of life. What did we wind up reading that was also that slice of life?
I don't know. What did you pick for us? It was some Scott Pilgrim thing?
Scott Pilgrim. Yep.
Book one.
Yep. Got to start at the beginning.
Did you read this prior?
I had read the series prior. Then I watched the movie because it was an Edgar Wright film. And, I loved his stuff with Simon Pegg. Thought it was fantastic. The movie itself was a unique experience. It had all the earmarks of the book, but still just enough different to kind of keep it fresh. But I did read the book series. It was kind of one of those things where it's like, so what's all the hullabaloo about? And so I read it.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim from 2012. We read Trade 1, Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life. It's by Brian Lee O'Malley. Let's see, who else is it by? Colored by Nathan Farbarn. Was the original in black and white?
Yeah. It was just a low print run and low production costs, black and white. Got popular. They reprinted it in color.
Yeah, lettering remastered by Troy Look, edited by James Lucas Jones, published by Oni Press Incorporated. I don't think I own anything else from Oni Press, but I like the quality of this one.
Yeah, I was trying to think about that myself. I think I might have a couple of random issues of things here or there. Probably, if anything, they're either in like some sort of like trade version. I don't think I got anything that was like individual, floppy issues or anything like that. This is, I think, the only one that comes right to mind is this series.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe I would have liked it better black and white because part of my problem was with the art was some of the people looked just like the other people, and if they have the same hair color, I got confused on who was who. Now, not the main characters, but some of the side characters. Like, is that the brown-haired drummer, or is that the brown-haired guy? It's like
the fan, the original fan that they had.
Yeah, Scott Pilgrim. Okay, now I didn't know what to expect. This is the first time I read it, and I actually read some of Trade 2, so I know what happens a little bit there.
That was going to be a question I asked later on, is if you know, did it intrigue you enough to read on at all, or were you kind of like, yep, that was a good conclusion?
Yeah, I did read on, partially because I didn't know where we were going to stop for the podcast, but
just kept on going.
but also just because I did want to see if, like, the second trade had different art or different little storylines, but it kind of had the same flow as the first one, so I lost interest a little bit.
It gets a little, I wouldn't say redundant, but there's a lot of like, okay, here's the beats.
Yeah.
You know, obviously with everything, you know, the origin story is always going to be the best. The introduction, the explaining the characters, it's always going to be the best. Everything after that is kind of like you're building on the supporting characters and you're adding to them while still trying to add to the main character. But usually everything's kind of surmised in that first volume. And yeah, I mean, the one thing I will say, and then I'll ask you another question here, but the one thing I love the opening line in this series, this book, and I wouldn't say it's like, you know, call me Ishmael or anything like that. You know, it's the best of times, it was the worst of times. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, but it's like Scott Pilgrim is dating a high schooler, and to me, that kind of like surmises the entire scope of what this book is going to be.
Yeah, gross, right?
Kinda. It's just like this, like, you know, it sums up Scott Pilgrim as kind of a quasi loser, but he's still dating, so he's not that much of a loser. But then he's dating a high schooler, so he's a loser. And then
he's a good-looking loser, maybe. I don't know, but
so it's kind of, you know, the art style doesn't, you know, lend itself to determining whether somebody's good looking or not. It's very unique style. Visually speaking, but
yeah, it is unique, and you know, they have big eyes. It's, you know, it's kind of manga adjacent, you know, obviously influenced by manga a lot, but it kind of had its own style and flow. Interesting characters, you know. I will say I overall didn't enjoy it. The more I was away from the book, the more I thought about it. So it struck a chord with me, like the aftertaste of the book. It succeeded in making me think, oh, you know, one, it was unique, and two, it was certainly not what I expected, because I thought, like you read the first line, I wasn't expecting anything but normal life and normal story. And that quickly took a turn when, you know, throughout the series, you have these visuals where they're shooting lightning while they're playing the guitar, and, you know, this girl
literally shows up in his dreams.
Like an Amberite, you know, like she can walk and travel and change the scenery. They're going through tunnels. There's magic. There's like ninja style stuff. And, you know, I wasn't expecting that at all. Threw me off a little bit with the story. Like, what am I reading? I don't understand this universe in a way that was also refreshing. Like, I don't know where this could go anywhere. He could step out of a door and be on Mars for the next issue, and it would make total sense to the story, even though it would make no sense in reality. You know, it was like, was he daydreaming? Like, some of it, I thought, is this all a dream? And he's going to wake up and, you know, back to normal and everything. But it was just strange. Not only is he dating a high schooler, but he likes the only Amazon delivery driver in the area who can go through tunnels of time and space.
Yeah. So I was the follow-up question was basically like, if you could surmise this book in 2 sentences, I'll give you 2, not just 1 sentence, but 2 sentences, what would you like? This is first volume. You don't go any further. This is first volume.
Scott Pilgrim loves to love. No,
It's so
some
deep.
I would call it a love story for one. Like I feel like Scott Pilgrim is meant to be with no one. Seems this is hard. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's hard to summarize something when you have no clue really about the universe. Sort of, it's a slice of life. I'll use your words.
Yeah.
It's a slice of life story about a lonely boy in a lonely band who must fight, for some reason, all the ex-boyfriends of the girlfriend that he loves. And that's weird. That's my second
No one's wearing
sentence.
spandex and blasting people from orbit.
Right.
But they kind of do. Yeah, I kind of was reading into it a little bit, probably too much on my end, but it's just one of those, to me, there was obviously, heavy autobiographical aspects. But I look at it as like a kid who's kind of the loser who, through his own rose-colored glasses, sees life as being, his own life as being bigger than it is. His band's the best. He's got superpowers. His girlfriend is a woman of his dreams, this unattainable person. And that he has to overcome the exes because he wants to show that he's the best person in the world. And it's just that, what's the term about that, where everybody else is an NPC in your own world? That's not the right phrasing of that, but it's more along the lines that
they're all secondary characters to your story.
And so he plays up the secondary characters to show how cool he is in his own world. That's just my own interpretation of it, because like you said, are these really superpowers? Does he really defeat all the exes? And it's like, yeah, in the comic book setting, yeah, he does. But he dates a high schooler, and it's like, when you're in high school, that was a thing. But when you're in college, it's his aspirations to really date, but his reality is like, she's not that great. And so he creates this other girl who is even better, and now has to dump the high schooler for somebody better to make his own life better. So I think this is all through a narcissistic lens and trying to make his life seem more important. Because, I mean, like, you think about it, he lives with that gay roommate because they're both too poor to live anywhere else.
Right. In the same bed.
yeah. It's just like, they just really, they go to Goodwill. Everything about it is someone whose life is pure desperation.
Right. And that was actually one of my favorite parts, was like his roommate, and just their banter back and forth. And, the roommate, does he have a crush on Scott Pilgrim or not? And, he's just kind of he's a strange character too. And, but I liked his roommate a lot.
Yeah. But then even then you're like going, well, he couldn't have just a regular roommate that you would consider, but it was like, no, I have to have the gay roommate,
right. And he's got to like me in secret. And
it's like he's building a world that's better around himself, so that everything orbits him, Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah.
And I'm probably reading way too much into a very simple story that it's like, how do you win a girl over? Well, you got to prove that you're better than any of the girl's previous liaisons.
Yeah. And he, in this first trade, he does, like, he's an expert super fighter for some reason. Like, this is almost One Punch Man meets
in Canada,
meets Dawson Creek, right? Yeah. And they fight, and they have super power fights. The characters can fly and super kick and
create clones out of nowhere. Or
right. It's so strange that it kind of works.
Because I mean, the world had been set up to be that way. The weirdnesses just seem normal. And I think, again, it goes back to like, if I can paint my own adventures to be even better than they are. A battle of the bands is not just, hey, we played our songs better than you played your songs. It's like, no, we're going epic. We actually have superpowers when we play. And then down to the point where when he does ultimately, and spoiler alert, defeat the first of the X's, power up coins more or less appear like they do in
right.
video games.
The X disappears and coins clink to the floor. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So $2.10 worth of coins. So, which obviously shows you it's in Canada because they're using Canadian dollars, which are now in coin form.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting. Like, this isn't a kid's book, because they do have sex, but I almost see this as a scholastic book.
Yeah, I kind of was wondering that too, because it's like, my gosh, was this something that because like it definitely, I was like, if it wasn't for the Oni press on it, I would think that you could order this from your weekly reader magazine.
Yep, I think so too.
It feels synonymous with every bookstore carries it, right along with Bone, right along with Amulet, right along with, you name any other graphic novel, that's out there, Newts, whatever else is Scholastic is popping out.
It seems very much Scholastic, but it's not,
No.
Maybe it's, because they, I don't know, I think they swear in it too, but not very often. Yeah, it ends up Scott Pilgrim needs to fight all 7 ex-boyfriends. And I assume it's 1 or 2 and a trade. I did like how sometimes even Scott Pilgrim realizes he's in a comic book because he can see like surprise marks from Ramona, his girlfriend, and why is your head like that? I'm fine. And so I mean, it's kind of tongue in cheek. The author obviously loves comic books and this works on the Scott McCloud trade of how to design comics.
Yeah,
and he did a good job. See, now I'm starting to like it. That's not fair, but
you done ruined it for me. I was enjoying the hate.
But I as I was reading it, it's strange. I kept saying, I don't really like this. This doesn't make sense. But now that I think about it, I think, it made sense. There's no rules. That's what makes sense about it is, you can expect the unexpected. It's almost, X-Files. Anything could happen.
Yep.
And don't get comfortable.
Yeah. And to carry the plot over that many, because like, the version I have is like 190 something pages. That's volume 1. And you're thinking like, how many more volumes? And it's like, okay, you've already mapped out the plot. The plot is going to be, he's going to defeat all the X's and, he's going to wind up with her at the end of it. That would be, it's already explained in it this way in this book that where it's heading, the trajectory of it. But then you're thinking like, how are they going to keep that as any sort of momentum? Because it's like, okay, he defeated one, he defeats another one, he defeats another one, he defeats another one.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, there's got to be something different. And I think the slight world building and the eccentric kind of approach to things that was taken kind of helps map out that, yeah, each one will be a different adventure, a different approach to how he defeats one of the X's. So
yeah, and he's got to lose eventually, and like Rocky, he can come back and defeat him later. It has potential. I wonder how far he's going to take this, and then is it going to be far enough? Like I'm not sure if that piques my interest enough to keep reading after after the second trade. If it's kind of like the first, I'm like, well, I think I get it and I'm good. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. We'll see if I keep reading because I have a couple more that I could do.
Did you ever like go through like the Arabian Nights books at all?
Yeah, I did.
It has somewhat of that feel of like, okay, I'm going to tell you a tale. And some of the stories are they're obviously all set in the same kind of world in the same direction, but I kind of almost feel like this is that same kind of like, okay, you're on, Sinbad. What was the Ray Harryhausen movie, The Seven Voyages of Sinbad?
Yeah.
Where it's just like, okay, you got to get this and this and this and finish your quest. And at the end of the quest, here's your damsel that you rescue, kind of a thing. To kind of follow the hero's journey, kind of a motif. But yeah, you wonder, like having read it once, but I read it, man, now too long ago to remember it. But it's like when I was reading this one again for the podcast, I'm not going, yep, it's all coming back to me. And
so you know how it ends.
I vaguely remember how it ends. I wouldn't say I absolutely remember how it ends.
Yeah. I mean, I read a little bit of book 2, and the high schooler, her name is Knives.
Yeah.
She starts, you can see that every character has some fighting skills, which is kind of neat. Again, it makes me wonder, what universe is this where they're all trained? She's got swords and, it's very manga, where they all have some skills that you just never knew. And suddenly they brandish them, it's, again, it's unpredictable, which is what I kind of like about it. But it's also, this is how each story is. It's not pretty, it kind of goes back and forth with me. Well, I kind of get each book's going to be about one or two boyfriends, and he's going to do it. But, maybe it will surprise me and go in a different direction. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what I can tell you is that the first volume is the best. The seventh volume, or sorry, not the seventh, the last volume, I believe, which is 6, is good. It's resolution, wraps it up. But the in between is getting in between.
Yeah. Okay. So I read the best. So I'm okay. I think I'm good. Maybe I'll finish the second one and then call it good or something like that.
Yeah. I bet you if you wanted to, I would almost suggest just jump to the end.
Okay.
And then read that, see how that fares. And if it's, if there really would be zero mysteries of like, oh, what happened? How did this person, what happened to this character? It's like, no, they're all still there. Right. There's been some evolution, along the way, some growth along the way, but no one's like, it's not like 10 years has passed or anything like that. And,
right. Now I have not looked at this creator. Has he done anything else that has hit the market that you know of, or is this is what he's known for?
This is what he's known for. I know that he has done other books. Honestly, I would not be able to.
Yeah, I'm not looking it up either. I'm just wondering. Wondering if he's had some more success. I mean, he had a movie, or was there?
Yeah, I mean that's you really can't get much bigger than that.
Right. I'm not selling him short. I just wondered if there was anything else to try for him, and I'm sure there is. But
Snot Girl is the only thing that's coming to mind.
Okay,
but I don't think he did all of those. I think he did a couple of them.
And I remember Snot Girl, and I was grossed out by the concept and did not further pursue that. So I don't think this changes my mind at it. I just, if you have a character named Snot Girl, I know it's not for me already. So I'm not your audience.
Yeah. It's. If I recall that title, I think he may have been just the writer. I don't think he was actually doing any of the art. Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I'm still not sure. I don't know. I seem to like it better now that we're talking about it, but do I don't know. How would you rank it compared to Let's see. What have we read? Like Chew.
I liked it better than Chew, but because I felt a little bit more of a connection with these characters, like these are actual people, and then Chew is just like, no.
Yeah. Well, it helps that you had a gay roommate and you were in a band. And
many connections. This was not, I mean, like if you rearrange the words, Scott Pilgrim, it does spell my name out.
Yes. Well, I mean, I always wondered how you learned to fly, but
mad, ninja moves, all of it. Yeah, I got it down. Yeah. I mean, like I said, this I could easily see, it's just that fantasy fulfillment life that, a teenager would have of like, man, I'm living the best life ever. I got mad boasts. I mean, like you could easily see Napoleon Dynamite show up in this book and fit right in.
Yeah.
It's just that kind of that delusional level of everything I do is awesome. And it's really kind of mundane, but unless you make it somehow bigger than it is, and that's where Scott Pilgrim kind of comes into play. It's like, so, I mean, it's kind of like, oh man, it's those conspiracy theories. Like what I'm proposing is that it's a, teen angst trying to reimagine his world, similar to like, have you heard of the Snowpiercer being a sequel to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah.
So it's kind of the same kind of a thing. Like if you shoehorn it in, it could potentially make sense, but it's not guaranteed.
All right. Well, if you've read Scott Pilgrim and you have some thoughts on it, please let us know. Our email address is andthisiswhyilovecomics@gmail.com. Our webpage is at andthisiswhyilovecomicspodcast@buzzsprout.com or .buzzsprout.com. We're on the X or the Twitter and This Is Why L1, Facebook, and This Is Why I Love Comics podcast. Do a search for that. We're on the TikTok, sorta. And we have a Patreon. So if you want to join that, it's on our webpage. You can support the show and help us get some new equipment and stuff like that. Thank you very much to producer Tony, co-host Matt 2.0, Kevin, and Matt 10.0. Thanks to all our supporters and friends of the show. And thanks for downloading all those short quiz episodes the last 2 episodes.
Those are fun.
Those are fun little shorts, and people seem to like them.
Bite size.
That's right. Little bite size. And, we'll do those again. So closing out on season 2, we'll go into season 3. We've got some great books ahead, including Shazam. What was that called?
Shazam! The Gomer Pyle story. The Gomer Pyle story.
Speaking of bone.
Yeah. It'll be the it's Jeff Smith.
Shazam! And that was, I've already read some of that, and I'll tell you right now, I liked it better than Scott Pilgrim.
Is it because of the spandex, or is you already know the world that you're walking into?
Probably a little bit of both, but I really like the art, and that helps a lot. Also, we're going to talk about some, I think we're still on track for Black Panther, but I'm not sure about that. We keep tossing that aside. I got some Legion issue I'm going to force on Mike.
Which I've never read a Legion story outside of the Adam Hughes run, the Legionnaires.
I am excited about that.
So let's see how this goes over.
Fantastic Four, John Byrne, I'd like to do.
Yep.
The Monster Society of Evil, that's what it was called. Yep. Shazam! And we have, we might change a little bit of our style and do some true crime, since that seems to be very popular right now. But we'll get to that eventually.
Yep. Other co-hosts appear, some guest stars.
Don't worry, we'll still talk about comics. I mean, come on, we're not going to change our format too much,
because that's why we love them comics.
And this is why I love comics. I'm not even sure my kid said that name right, but it'll be fun to edit that in. So for the podcast, which by the way, we were ranked 15 in the best DC Comics podcast on Goodpods.
What?
So we're getting.
Are they listening to us, or are
there.
they just giving us a random number?
Well, that was out of 100,
Yikes.
and like for the ranking of the best comic book podcast on Goodpods, we were ranked 37, which is, hey, that's better than half. It was out of 80. So, so we're getting, we're getting people to download it, which we really appreciate. That's kind of the point. So for the podcast, I'm Andy.
Yeah, I'm Mike.
And we'll bring on Thunder Chicken. And thanks to them thanks for the tunes, Thunder Chicken. Check them out on Spotify. There's a link in the show notes. Go!
I think the guy at Mackinac Island had the Thunder Chicken.
That'd have been awesome.
That's why he was in the bathroom.
Yeah, he had the Thunder Chicken the day before, and it was still hitting him.
What did he have? The special. Check.
Thunder Chicken.
Stomping foot.
Stomp on the ground. We'll do a skit next episode, and you're gonna relive that moment. I'll play you. I'll play you. You play the guy on the toilet.
It's a one-man show. Yeah, just.
I'm uncomfortable thinking you came into the bathroom and I pictured it as one stall or just one toilet and a sink, and you're just like you're just sitting there waiting for him.
Staring. Like, hey, dude. Can you hurry
done
up?
Yet, sir? Stop.
It's like a one-man band. That dude was the percussion. He was the trumpets. He was everything.